4 years ago, after the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida, and the near tragedy at Noblesville West, 13 Investigate showed you how an Indiana school district was making major changes to security, reconfiguring buildings, and allowing teachers to access guns. So how has it all worked?
Are students safer, and what lessons have they learned? Jenny Runovich takes us back to Jay County to find out.
Just entering a school in Jay County,
we want to see you and hear you before you even get in,
is dramatically different than 4 years ago. From background checks to bolted doors to ballistic windows.
You're not going to shoot through that glass.
Superintendent and retired Indiana National Guardsman Jeremy Gully has made it his mission to defend against danger in his district.
We move the needle. Prevention, hardening, and arming, everything we've talked about, we've moved it.
It's that last part that grabbed attention when we first visited in 2018. In a rural community, response time can be a second enemy in a school shooting. So Jay County backed a bold step, a first for Indiana. In each building, there is a hidden handgun. Locked in a biometric safe, it is a weapon at the ready for a secret team of teachers and staff trained to pull the trigger as a last line of defense.
If all these layers fail, we believe that someone in that school has to confront the shooter with armed force.
Have any of those safes been accessed in the last 3.5 years?
As far as access to the safe for an active shooter, no. As far as accessing the firearm for concealed carry when a school is under a threatening condition, like we've experienced when schools get threats, we will authorize individuals that are non-teachers to put themselves in a concealed carry posture so that weapon is on the hip and ready to use.
Arming school employees isn't the only change. The high school now has random metal detectors. The district got a school resource officer and this metal detector, 1-year-old Jack.
Rounds of light ammunition. He detects black powder and smokeless powder. It also helps bridge with kids that may not feel comfortable talking to me. They feel comfortable talking to him.
Some of the solutions are low tech.
In classrooms, students now know this area is protected in an emergency, and they practice it.
That's a hidden corner of every classroom in an active shooter drill. That's where kids are going.
So the point is, if a gunman does get in, they can't see the kids. Their line of vision literally cut off, and the students stay safe.
Meanwhile, first responders see more. The district doubled surveillance cameras, reconfigured room signs, and color-coded hallways to better direct police responding to a threat.
So not only can first responders see those panels, but our cameras are tied in now to our 911 dispatch center.
But the most effective part of their safety plan? The Sandy Hook Promise app to report threats anonymously.
It's worked. We've had over 500 tips since we put that in.
Tips not just about school threats, but also fights, drugs, bullying, and suicidal students. Gully says it's saved lives.
It's been the biggest surprise because it's worked every time. People are talking to us now.
Over the last 4 years, Gully's been talking with other superintendents about what works, what to try. And he's also connected with parents who've lost children in school shootings.
He gets it. This is all he thinks about 24/7, and that's what you want.
Including Max Schachter, whose son Alex was killed in Parkland, Florida. His nonprofit aims to make schools safer.
We miss Alex every day. I made it my mission to do everything I could to prevent this from happening again. And every superintendent and every principal has to prioritize this issue. In Parkland, we had that mindset that it's not going to happen here.
Much of what you see in Jay County now came after studying what failed in Parkland. Their security team is meeting again after the tragedy in Uvalde, learning lessons, evolving strategies, including this latest purchase.
That's the next horizon.
A $150,000 alert system just approved by the school board. The badge with a button can signal an emergency in seconds. No scrambling for phones or struggling with Wi-Fi. Every teacher will wear one.
You see something that doesn't look right, feel right, just press the card so that the rest of the building can initiate their lockdown. You said time is an enemy. I remember you saying that. That's exactly what we're trying to fight back against, is the time that elapses.
Reducing risk in a district that believes layered security, from weapons to warnings, is keeping kids safe.
Really interesting story from Jenny Runovich. Now, schools aren't the only ones preparing for potential active shooter situations. Officers in Muncie take part in a nationwide program called Active Attack Integrated Response Training. All of this starts with a sit-down session reviewing response and communication plans. Then officers go through a simulated scenario with volunteer victims and blank bullets. You can see the training in action and hear from officers about the lessons that they've learned. Just go over to WTHR.com.